What's up, you guys? I'm Drew Hernandez, and welcome to the Candid Conversation. This week, I'm going to do a Storytime edition. Also, thank you very much for listening and watching this video. It means a lot to me, so I really appreciate it. This week, I'm going to do a Storytime edition, and I'm going to give you two different stories. One story is a situation that I found myself in, and then the other story is about a big decision I had to make and the people around me that helped me through that. The first story, the moral of the story is, you never truly know what someone's going through. That being said, I'm going to leave out a lot of information about the person because I don't really want it to come back to this person in any way, shape, or form. So this first person reached out to me and wanted my advice or guidance about a situation they were going through. And I knew this person really well, and I was around this person pretty much daily. This person was always very up-tempo, happy person. This person reached out to me to see if I could come and talk. And I said, all right, yeah, I'll be over in a little bit. And when I got to their room, they were just laying face flat on the pillow. And when they pulled their head up, you could see tears, like tear marks and water spots on the pillowcase. So I knew it was something serious. And all in one motion, when they got up, they tossed me a pill bottle. And I caught it and looked at it, and I'm like, and I looked back up at the person, and they said, I took a bunch of these sleeping pills and I was trying to not wake up. And I was so surprised because I never thought this person was going through something so powerful that they didn't want to be living. And the moral of the story, like I said, is you never truly know what someone's going through in life. We talked for hours and kind of heard about some things that that person was going through. During this point in time was right when I was applying for Pine Rest, where I work now. And I actually had a business card of like a therapist there. And I had my wallet on me and I handed them the card and I said, hey, I've always loved being there for people. I've always loved having people come to me and talk to me when they're going through something. I felt like something like this was a little too powerful for me. And someone I truly loved and cared about, I didn't want to see my help not be enough. So I tried to push them in the right direction of where they could go to reach help. The feeling of like being in that circumstance of hearing someone that was going through something like that really made me think about like my own life and like the things I'm holding on to and the things I don't talk about. I know you and everyone out there, we do this a lot as humans because we don't want to feel like a burden to other people, or we don't want like to look weaker than we truly are trying to show ourselves. And that being said, I don't think there's anything wrong being emotional. I'm a pretty emotional person, and I try not to hold things in anymore because of that situation that person was in, because I don't want to ever catch a point in my life that I feel like I have no one else to go to, and the only best case scenario for me is if I'm not around anymore. I don't think anyone should ever feel like that. If you have, or if you do feel like this, I'm really sorry, because there's so much more in life that you could experience and enjoy. And if you ever need someone, there's a lot of resources out there for people to talk to. I myself have done personal counseling to talk about some things I didn't feel comfortable talking about with friends or family or anything like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. There shouldn't be a stigma about like there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just there's something wrong with the moment you're going through and how you're handling it. And being able to like express that and work through it with someone else that's very knowledgeable and knowing of what you need to do or how you should feel about it. It's a blessing to be able to be told and reassured like that there's more to what you're feeling or going through right now. So be mindful of like, for example, if you're going to a restaurant and they're messing up your order or whatever, don't take out your anger on someone you don't know because they're quote unquote not doing their job right. Yeah, they might not be doing their job right, but you don't know what that person's going through outside of their job. They could be going through a lot of stress and anxiety and feeling overwhelmed over life, and then that could be the tipping point for them. Don't let your actions and emotions on someone negatively impact their life to end up becoming worse for them. The second story I would like to talk about is a way different kind of like feeling. Like, I know that was kind of like a sad kind of talk and story that I just said, but still, I wanted to give you both, good and bad, I guess. The second story is about a decision I had to make, and the decision was where I was going to go to school and what I was going to do, and it was a lot of pressure for me. My senior year, I happened to be pretty good at the sports I played at. I played football and baseball at West Catholic, and everyone kind of had the assumption I was going to go play college football somewhere and take an opportunity doing that. And I had a lot of opportunity to do that, but I was overwhelmed with a feeling of like everyone wanting me to do something that I truly didn't think long term was the best fit for me. I knew that if I played college football, I would have loved it, but I knew also that my body would have withstanded long-term effects that I don't know if I would have enjoyed, you know? Basically, I had a f you mentality that year, and I didn't want to be told what to do. I wanted to do and make the decision for myself on what I wanted my life to end up being. I told everyone that I wasn't going to play college football, and everyone was kind of like surprised, I guess. They were surprised because I didn't actually take the chance on it. And like I said, everyone was kind of just assuming I was going to. Being able to tell everyone, no, I'm not doing that, made me feel like I was really letting a lot of people down. Coaches, family, some friends, and like just in general. I knew ultimately like everyone was going to be happy because I was making it the choice for myself. But at the same time, I was feeling more or less like, this is my life. Let me choose what I want to do. So once I told everyone that I was going to do that, I kind of set my mentality to just go to college and get a degree and do what I want and pursue what I want to do. That being psychology, and I wanted to go to a school that had psychology, and a lot of the schools that were recruiting me for football didn't really have like a good psychology program or really had a degree in that. So I kind of ultimately never kind of saw the point of going to those schools anyway. I ended up putting forward my like enrollment deposit and all that to Central Michigan, and I thought I was going to go to school there. And just because I wanted to get out of the city and I wanted to go experience something, and once everyone was happy and accepted my decision for the decision that I was making for my own self, it was a lot of pressure knowing that I had an opportunity to play college baseball at Aquinas. And I felt again all that pressure and being overwhelmed with disappointing people again, and I was kind of like headstrong on just going to Central and just doing that, and thought that was like the best move for me. Granted, it wasn't, and I didn't take that opportunity to go to Central, and I'm glad I didn't. I had great people around me. My parents were full-fledged pushing towards it. Not only them, but one of the coaches at West Catholic at the point in time, Adam Munoz and George Rosinski, they gave me a lot of advice, especially Coach Munoz, because he made me realize that there was a lot of opportunity to have a good time in college, get my degree, and be able to play the sport I've grown and loved since I was 4 years old. I also have to give a great thank you to the Suicidal family, Roger, Rosemary, and also Ben, one of my best friends, because they really wanted me to do that and pushed for me to do that and supported my decision no matter what I was going to do as well. But without those certain people kind of like guiding me and pushing me a little bit, I don't know if I would have taken that opportunity. And I didn't actually commit to Aquinas College until the day after I actually graduated from high school. So if anyone's in high school and watching this, like, you don't have to make a decision right now. You don't have to put all your eggs in one basket and just be like, this is what I chose, I can't go back from here. Like, I understand the letter of intent, but do what's best for you. Whatever is going to come naturally, you'll know in the bottom of your heart what's going to put you in the best position for yourself. don't feel like you're pressured by other people to make the decision if you don't want to do something as well. Also, like parents and coaches that are watching this, be mindful of like knowing what your player or your son or daughter wants to do. Maybe they don't want to pursue this in college anymore. Maybe they achieved everything they wanted to and they just didn't want to play the sport anymore. Don't pressure someone to make a decision because you want them to do something in comparison to what they might truly want to do. I think all the time about what if I played college football instead of baseball. The only time I really felt that, especially in college, is during the fall when football was happening. When it came around to like the spring and winter when practices started up, I was kind of thinking to myself, why would I choose football? Baseball longevity for body is way stronger than it was for football. I knew I could be able to have a healthy body when I'm a parent later in my life, in comparison to maybe not as mobile or anything else if I played football. Granted, I'll never know what scenario would have played out better for me. And in probably an alternative reality, I maybe did choose football, but I'm living this life and I'm happy with the choice I made. Aquinas was a great fit for me. It was just like West Catholic, a small school. I knew pretty much everyone that I wanted to know. A lot of love and support through the community as well, and it was close to home to be able to not feel like the homesick feeling. And I made a great decision for myself. It put me to where I am in my life now, and I couldn't be happier with where my life is right now. I have a great relationship with my parents. I have coaches and friends and family that I've been able to stay connected with. The things I want to get across from these stories are kind of going hand in hand in a certain way. I was feeling all that pressure and overwhelmness of like making a decision of where to go to school, but also no one really knew where I was coming from or what I was feeling and how I felt about it because I didn't talk about it. You never really know what someone's going through, so treat people how you would want to be treated. The golden rule, we all learn it. I think it kind of goes out of mind that we don't think about that as much as we should. And hopefully you can get something from this. And once again, thank you for listening to the Candid Conversation. And until next time, guys.